The hospital room was a battlefield of emotions, a scene so raw and chaotic it could have been ripped from a blockbuster drama. But this was no movie. This was real life, unfolding in the sterile corridors of a New York City hospital, where hip-hop's steadfast king, Papoose, faced a moment that would test the limits of love, loyalty, and human endurance. His wife, Remy Ma, the queen of grit and grace, lay unconscious behind white curtains, her life hanging by a thread. What happened next was a meltdown so explosive it left seasoned ER staff speechless, security scrambling, and the internet ablaze, with grainy footage and frenzied headlines. This is the story of the night everything broke loose, a tale of desperation, heartbreak, and a man's refusal to let go. It began like any other medical emergency, a frantic rush to the hospital, the screech of ambulance sirens fading into the hum of fluorescent lights. Nurses swarmed, monitors beeped, and the air carried that unmistakable hospital scent, disinfectant mixed with fear. Papoose, known for his unwavering composure through Remy's legal battles, public scandals, and career highs, stood by her, sighed, a pillar of strength. But no one could have predicted the storm brewing beneath his calm exterior. The moment a doctor, faced devoid of warmth, delivered the 5 words that would shatter everything. "We can't save Remy Ma." The world tilted. Those words hit Papoose like a freight train. Witnesses say the energy in the ICU shifted, as if the room itself held its breath. The quiet rapper, who had weathered every storm by Remy's side, transformed into a man consumed by love and rage. His face twisted, his voice erupted, a primal roar that echoed through the halls. "Save her! Do something!" Clipboards clattered to the floor as he slammed his fist into a counter. Nurses froze. Interns scattered, and one orderly, brave or foolish, stepped forward with outstretched hands, murmuring soothing words. But Papoose was beyond reason. This wasn't about fame or reputation. This was about Remy, his soulmate, his everything, and the unbearable thought of losing her. The doctor, perhaps unprepared for the intensity of Papoose's reaction, tried to explain. He spoke of dropping vitals, red-blinking machines, and medical impossibilities. But to Papoose, it was noise, a cold recitation of defeat. He wasn't hearing percentages or protocols, he was hearing betrayal. "You gave up on her," he shouted, grabbing the doctor's coat, pulling him so close their faces nearly touched. The tension was suffocating, a scalpel's edge from erupting into something irreversible. Behind the curtains, Remy lay still, her heart monitor beeping a slow, torturous rhythm, each sound a countdown to an outcome no one dared name. Word of the chaos spread like wildfire. Within minutes, security was alerted. Visitors from other floors gathered near the ICU, some clutching phones, capturing shaky footage that would soon flood social media. The videos painted a scene of unfiltered madness. Papoose pacing, shouting, pleading, his voice cracking with desperation. At one point, he tried to push past staff into the restricted zone, determined to be with Remy. Nurses and orderlies formed a human barrier, their bodies a fragile shield against his grief. Tears streamed down his face, not the quiet tears of resignation, but the furious kind, born of a man ready to tear down the world to save his love. Outside, the hospital became a circus. Paparazzi, tipped off by some unseen source, swarmed the parking lot. News vans arrived, cameras flashing like vultures circling a tragedy. Headlines began to form in real time. Papoose erupts at hospital after Remy Ma's critical condition. Revealed. Chaos at ICU. Rapper's heartbreaking plea goes viral. Inside, none of it mattered. The ICU was a pressure cooker, and Papoose was its volatile core. Hospital administrators huddled in corners, phones buzzing with calls from legal teams already anticipating lawsuits. Friends, managers, and even distant. Acquaintances rushed to the scene, drawn by the gravity of the moment, but the situation was far from contained. Security, tasked with de-escalating, made a critical misstep. 4 guards approached Papoose, hands raised, voices calm but firm. "Sir, we understand. Please come with us." It was the kind of scripted line that works on paper, but crumbles in the face of raw emotion. Papoose turned, eyes blazing, chest heaving, and shoved the nearest guard. The force sent the man stumbling into a tray of medical supplies, IV bags scattering like confetti. A gurney wobbled, a nurse screamed, and the ICU descended into pandemonium. Papoose, the man who preached peace in his rhymes, had snapped, and the hospital bore witness to his unraveling. The internet exploded. TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram lit up with hashtags. Save Remy, or Papoose breakdown, mark hospital chaos. One clip, shared thousands of times, captured Papoose's voice raw and broken. She's not just a patient, she's my wife. You gave up on her, but I won't. In the background, the heart monitor's slow beeps cut through the chaos, a haunting underscore to the tragedy. Blogs pounced. TMZ posted a blurry video titled Papoose Meltdown at NYC Hospital, Staff Overwhelmed. The Shade Room leaned into the drama. When love turns violent, Papoose versus hospital security in Remy Ma tragedy. Hip Hop DX took a softer approach. Papoose pleads for Remy Ma's life amid hospital controversy. Public opinion fractured. Fans rallied behind Papoose, sharing stories of their own hospital nightmares. I'd lose it too if they gave up. On my love. He's real. Others condemned his actions. This ain't the way. Security had to step in, praying for Remy though. And then there were the trolls, turning pain into memes. Security. Sir, calm down. Papoose. Unleashes. WWE finisher. But beneath the noise, the heartbreak was undeniable. This wasn't about a celebrity meltdown. It was about a man staring into the abyss of loss. Inside the hospital, the situation grew dire. Staff whispered about calling the NYPD, a last resort. As the chaos threatened to spiral further, Remy's vitals, already precarious, wavered. The heart monitor slowed, oxygen levels dipped, and doctors struggled to focus amid the shouting and crying. Papoose, now pounding the walls, demanded miracles, his voice a mix of fury and despair. And then, another wave crashed. Remy's family arrived. Her mother burst into the ER lobby, her voice cutting through the din. "You're letting her die! Where's the best doctor? Where's the chief of medicine?" Her sister and cousins followed, their anger a mirror of Papoose's. Security, already stretched thin, now faced a furious family demanding answers. The hospital was no longer just a medical facility. It was a battleground, with grief and desperation as its weapons. A nurse, voice trembling, whispered to a colleague, "God help us, we're losing her." The tipping point came when the head surgeon emerged, his face pale, his hands unsteady. The room fell silent, even the heart monitor seeming to pause. He cleared his throat, scanning the crowd. Papoose, Remy's sobbing mother, security guards, poised for action. "We're doing everything we can," he said, voice heavy, "but it's critical. There's very little chance we can save her." The words detonated. Papoose's knees buckled, and he stumbled against the wall, shoving, off security's attempts to steady him. "No!" he screamed, the sound reverberating like a gunshot. "You're supposed to be the best. Save her." Remy's mother collapsed, her wails filling the air. Her sister demanded another doctor, a specialist, anyone. A cousin began live streaming, broadcasting the pain to the world. Papoose, wild-eyed, pulled out his phone, vowing to call every hospital in the city to pay for a miracle. But the surgeon's response was a quiet, devastating truth. "There's no time. Moving her could kill her faster." Hope snapped like a brittle thread. Papoose slid to the floor, face buried in his hands, rocking back and forth. The internet erupted again, clips of the surgeon's words spreading like wildfire. Fans prayed, trolls mocked, and the world watched a man's heart break in real time. Remy's family raged, security braced for another outburst, and the hospital teetered on the edge of collapse. This was more than a news story. It was a raw, unfiltered glimpse into human fragility. Was Papoose justified, fighting a system that seemed to abandon his wife? Did the hospital do all it could? Or was this another case of cold bureaucracy failing a family in crisis? The footage, the eyewitness accounts, the beeping heart monitor, they tell a story of love pushed to its breaking point. The question lingers. Can Remy Ma defy the odds? And what does it mean when a hospital, meant to be a place of healing, becomes a stage for despair?